With the commercial success of Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, the series would see a sequel just 2 years later, on March 14, 1992, for the Famicom. The game was titled Fire Emblem Gaiden. While Shadow Dragon was directed by Keisuke Terasake, the mastermind behind the Fire Emblem series was Shozu Kaga. Kaga's main focus of Gaiden was to address a lot of the complaints made regarding Shadow Dragon, such as unintelligent AI and overall clunky map navigation. For this entry in the series, Kaga would take over as director, with Gunpei Yokoi back in his role as producer. With this new entry would come many new features and gameplay mechanics, most of which we still see today in 2022. The biggest of these new mechanics would be the class change system and a traversable overworld. Common as it may be today, this was huge for the Fire Emblem series. In Shadow Dragon, your unit classes didn't evolve, meaning if you were a Lord, Knight, Fighter, etc., from the very first enemy engagement until the end credits rolled, your class stayed the same. Kaga had a vision for the series. He wanted players to feel more attached to their units, and grow a bond with them throughout their playthrough. Alright, well, maybe not that attached. In an interview with Hironobu Sakaguchi, Kaga said the following: "I wanted to make a strategy game that was more dramatic, something where you would really be able to feel the pain and struggle of the characters. That's why characters can't be revived once they're killed, to impart a sense of gravity and seriousness. Now with some of the game's developmental history out of the way, let's get into the story that Gaiden has to offer. Set on the continent of Valentia, it is a world divided by two kingdoms, Zofia and Rigel. Both kingdoms worship their own respective gods. Zofia worships Milla, the All-Mother, while Rigel worships Duma, the Warfather. Sadly, we learn of a bloody conflict between the two kingdoms due to the actions of Chancellor Desai. Our protagonists are Alm and Celica, who are childhood friends. Alm is a young boy from the village of Ram, who can often be found training with his grandfather, Sir Myson. Alm hears his call to arms when a member of the Liberation Army named Lucas appears in the village looking to gain the help of Myson in the battles to come against Rigel. After Sir Myson's refusal to join the Liberation Army, Alm takes up his sword in Myson's stead and sets out to free Zofia from the stranglehold that has been put upon her. Celica, however, sets off on her own journey after having a dream of Alm's death, as well as to investigate the recent disappearance of Milla, the Earth Mother. Many signs indicate her influence over the land has been weakened substantially, including crop failures for the past few years, and the rise of evil throughout the land. Along her journey, she meets back up with her childhood friend Alm, but the reunion isn't as happy as you might expect. Gaiden was met with mixed reviews, even though it had topped the Famitsu sales chart in March of '92. Many reviewers thought it to be much too different from the first game, and thus it wasn't able to be fairly compared. Gaiden is titled the black sheep of the franchise, due to it straying away from what we know as traditional Fire Emblem. It certainly isn't a bad game, however, due to its difference in playstyle. Think about games such as Zelda 2 and Mario 2. Albeit much different from their predecessors, they're still loved by many and have dedicated fanbases ready to back them up. Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia was a true remake of the original Famicom version. This was great for the game as a whole. It cleaned up and further distinguished it from other entries in the series, with gameplay mechanics we don't see in any other title, such as the dungeon crawling mechanic. Gaiden, when translated, means side story, and honestly, I can't think of a more fitting name for the game. It's one of those titles in the series that's more often than not forgotten, but it can still stand on its own 2 feet with its immaculate storytelling and fun characters. And that is the Awakening of Fire Emblem Gaiden. If you enjoyed Part 2, feel free to like the video and subscribe. Reach out to me and let me know if you have played either version of Gaiden, and what you like or dislike about the game. I really hope everyone has a great day, and stay tuned. We're tackling a mystery in Part 3.